Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Tales of Arise. Last time we left off, we did some fishing and some arena stuff, and I got a wee bit tilted, I do believe. So, yeah, why don't we go ahead and take a resty at the old fire here. Someone in the comments told me that the waiting for the ship isn't actually the point of no return, so I think we'll go do that this episode.
Oh, my hair's gone all frizzy.
It's the humidity. Here, let me comb it out for you.
Thanks, Kisara.
Yeah, I mean, she's the mom of the group. Okay, so they mentioned that I needed another boss fish for some recipe. Not sure which one it was. I mean, obviously the fish steak needed it, but we've done that before. So, see, there's the mabo curry, the pork bun we've done, sashimi. You're new. Thinly sliced seafood. Each type of meat requires a different method of cutting it in order to best bring out its innate flavor.
Mmm. Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Well, thank you, Kisara. A little... Oh, cool.
All right, it's done. Apologies for the wait, you guys.
That's a lot of fish you've cut up again, Kisara.
That's because I caught so many earlier. If you're going to eat them, it's best to do it while they're still fresh.
Was it difficult slicing up that many fish?
No, I'm used to it. It's no big deal for me at this point.
I know I probably shouldn't be saying this after all the trouble you went through, but I've never really understood the appeal of sashimi.
Oh, I'm sorry, Law. I didn't realize. I only make it because it's an easy way to deal with big catches when I fish.
You haven't done anything wrong, Kisara. Law, if you don't like the flavor, you're always welcome to add some of my spices to it.
Hey, yeah, that might work. I'll just put some of this here.
Famous last words.
What's wrong, Law? I've never seen someone jump up and sprint off that fast.
He ran as soon as he took a bite of that sashimi.
Was he crying because of the taste?
I don't think the sashimi is the problem here, guys.
You guys leave Alphen alone. His spices are great. Alright, Law, what's
Mind
up?
if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomach ache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training, too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff.
You are now closer to Law.
I'll take guard duty tonight. It's fine.
Oh. Finding out more and more about Zephyr and Law's relationship. Unsurprisingly, Zephyr was a really good dad. Ooh, catch and fillet. So wait, making sashimi was one of the things I needed to do for you? Boss fish caught silver marlin. That's gonna be at the beach. Oh yeah, we almost have all your trees. Alright.
I
Well,
feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
we got an AXP boost. Let's go and wait at the ship. Outer area. Let's see what happens if we do this. I don't think there's anything else for me to do, really. I think I need to level up
Quite the
for
little adventure we went on.
those last few missions that I have left. We could probably beat that boss that's like 8 levels higher than us, but let's just go ahead and do this, why don't we? What is this interaction here? Is that just boarding the ship, maybe? Usually that means there's like some kind of CP thing you can do. So I thought maybe, but no. Alright, how is that not a fishing spot, man? Look at this beautiful little thing. It's so pretty. I would sleep here. I would live here, actually. I would build a house in this spot. Like, look at this view and everything. Look at this. You got a nice little pond right there, and look at this. Ugh. Okay, well that's kind of terrifying, but whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and rest.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dahna.
No offense to Shionne and Dahnan, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renan homeworld leave Dahna alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shionne and Dahnan, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dahna. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dahna. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Dahnans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dahna. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shionne can finally get rid of her thorns. Shionne?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shionne?
Interesting.
Where'd Shionne go? How could she just go off on her own? She's
guys-
not over there. Where did she run off to?
You guys
Shionne.
all just fell asleep sitting up, huh? Interesting. Also, I find it interesting and funny that Renwell was the one that ended up being like, maybe we should try and make peace with the Renans after her hatred of Renans. It seems like she's gotten over that. It's a good good change in her character. So what is that? I'm trying to figure out what that is. It's probably, is that Geneth Harros? Because we're in Calaglia right now. I think that might be Geneth Harros. Because it's kind of blue. I don't know. Or it might be like the Calaglia palace thing that Valseth is hiding out at. I can't quite tell from the geography.
Shionne. Shionne! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Sorry, my cat's waited for now during an important cutscene to be like, you know what? This toy that I haven't touched in like 2 months, now's the time.
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shionne. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renan was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to...
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Elvin?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Elvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shionne is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shionne. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. Most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you! So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Look at the big happy family. That's a pretty similar plot point to another Tales game. You probably know what I'm talking about if you played them all. There's a character that goes through a very similar struggle. Hey, how you doing?
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shionne is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shionne doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dahna's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shionne in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renan would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Shionne just has Jormungandr hanging out inside of her. Pretty rough. And yeah, Dohalim really does like figuring out riddles. They use that portrait of him with his hand on his chin a lot.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shionne's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shionne wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shionne doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shionne what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
We also point out that Shionne was apparently just gonna send herself up to Lenegis as like basically a dark energy nuke to take them out because she knew she was gonna go berserk at some point, but Also, they probably know how to stop it, so... Alright. What else we got? How you doing? Also, didn't they say at some point that Shionne's thorns don't actually cause you any bodily harm? It just gives the sensation of pain? Could her thorns actually kill somebody? I could have sworn they said that at some point. Like, the thorns don't actually cause you any bodily harm. It just, you know, like, sets off your pain receptors. But maybe I'm just crazy. I think it was pretty early in the game that they said that.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shionne's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shionne's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
No. Wholesome Rinwell. Yeah. A lot of the characters have changed for the better throughout the story. I've got to say, they all have some pretty good character arcs. If I had to say who's probably changed the least... possibly Dahlan, because Dahlan was already pretty good, but he's changed too, because he's kind of, you know, realized that the reasons he was being nice to the Dahnans weren't the right reasons and things like that, but everyone's had some pretty good character arcs.
Did you know?
You mean about Shionne?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shionne, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shionne. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
For a second there, I thought Law was starting a Did You Know Gaming episode. I was like, wait, what? In my video game? Alright, well, if I want to have this up today, unfortunately I think we're going to have to go ahead and end this off here. I wanted to talk to Shionne too, but yeah, I gotta make sure I have enough time to actually render this out and get it up on time, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Tales of Arise, and I'll see you next time.